Yo, what's good, y'all? Zah here, and today I want to talk about appreciating what you got, you know, and not comparing what you got and what you got going on to to other people because they're not on the same purpose as you. They're not on the same path as you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not on the same path as you either. We both taking different paths. All of us that are listening, we all have different paths, different past. You dig what the fuck I'm saying? So why compare what we have going on and what I got and what you got to each other as a whole? You know, it makes no sense because it's not needed when we all have different journeys. We're all destined for different things. We're all destined for different outcomes in life, and we all come from different backgrounds. Some may be similar, but it's all different, different experiences. If you're all the same, you know, there will be nothing to anyone, nothing to anything, in my opinion. But since we are different and uniquely made and uniquely built and created from the universe, the Most High, God, however you want to put it, and from your higher self, it makes all of us special in our own way. I'm a great divine blessing. I'm special in my own way, just as you are too. You dig? So why are you here comparing your past, your problems, what you got going on to other people that have gone through different paths in lives? Some people are really blessed at the beginning, some people aren't. You dig? If you aren't, just like me, you carve your path and don't compare yourself to anybody else but yourself. How can I get better? How can I, change the way I think to improve my life? How can I better position myself, better campaign myself in my life at this current moment to produce the outcome that I want? You got to ask yourself these questions. Some people may have some of the keys to get you there, but you got to open that door and walk through it. And whatever's on the other side, you got to handle your business and keep walking forward. No one's out here gonna hold your hand the whole entire way. I'm not gonna hold your hand the whole entire way, but I'll share my perspective, my experience, my knowledge with you. For example, I could have the keys for you. What I'm saying? It's up to you to take it from my hand and open that motherfucking door. I can't control anybody's mind. You can't control anybody's other mind but yourself. So control how you think, how you react, and you keep progressing in life. That's also why I want to talk about. You appreciate what you got. Appreciate your past. Okay, it built me, got me here. Yeah, it was shitty, but we got through it. What's next? Appreciate what you got going on. Okay, I got something small going on. I'm building on that, putting energy up to it. Oh, I love this. It's gonna have a great outcome. I already see it. I believe it. I feel it. I know it. And once you start, doing all that, you'll see that where your progression's at. You'll have the appreciation to keep on moving forward. You dig? And by you doing this, you're highlighting to yourself, man, I love this. I enjoy this. Even if it's the shittiest, you're at the shittiest point of your life, enjoy the fuck out of it. How can you see this as a blessing? How can you turn this into a blessing, into a lesson that you're learning, you know? And that's what I do every moment. I could have the shittiest day, for example, at a 9 to 5 job. Could have the shittiest day, we working hella late. Oh man. But I could also see it as, oh damn, okay, I got this opportunity to work later. I'm gonna make some more bread. I've been asking for the most high and I've been working to get more, of my income to increase. And this is a perfect opportunity for me to increase my income. Yeah, it may be unfortunate. Yeah, it may ruin some of my plans, but my income is increasing and I value that so far at this current moment. So therefore, I'm appreciate this opportunity, regardless how I feel, regardless of this and that. If it's the moment I can, if I have a moment, I can turn into appreciation, and turn that appreciation into some revenue or that appreciation into a blessing in my life. I'm gonna do it. Change the way you think, and of every current moment in your life. You could be having a shitty conversation with a broad, cool, whatever. But let's say you don't want to deal with it, you want to push her to the side, or you just want to get through the combo, whatever your situation is. But you can also turn that to appreciation. Damn, she's really telling me how she feels. But let me judge what's going on. Let me judge, her previous actions. Let me see what could this be. You dig? And not just that, you can also appreciate like, okay, cool, she's stepping out of line. I don't want to deal with that. I appreciate you for showing me how you react and how you feeling, and I don't want to tolerate that. Cool. Now I eliminated you out of my circle, and you made room for the right one to walk right in. You know what I mean? Or it could turn into a different appreciation and be like, damn, I appreciate her being so open and comfortable to talk to me. That this communication level is so high that I respect her for it. There's many ways you could turn any situation into any great outcome for you. And if you know what I'm saying, not even just that, if it's somebody else like that, you're also showing a great outcome for her, and you are being a great representation to your game. You know what I'm saying? Because now she's like, damn, he's a well respected man. He didn't come at me the wrong way. Either way, now we get into a whole conversation about females. I'm gonna save that for the Patreon. A lot of free game. You know, when you show appreciation to what you got going on, your campaign, to what you're doing in life and where you're currently at, you know, life will seem like it's shifting in an easier path. You'll see better ways and opportunities to move about how you to move about how you want to move. You know what I'm saying? So why not think better of any situation? You know, but it could be different situations in your life where let's say you lost somebody in your life. Wow, you know, that would let's not wish that on somebody. Let's not even dive deep into that. But you know, hypothetically speaking, if that were to happen, how would you handle that? How would you proceed from that? You know what I'm saying? Because it'll feel tough to show appreciation of that. But depending on how it happened and all that, so you know, it reaches, you know, it has its limit to what you can appreciate. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, you know, having some type of grief or happening in your life can show you character out of yourself, you know, and then it will also create strength and build you because you lost a life. How are you gonna deal with it? And you gain experience. You gain that experience, you know. But let's not talk about death here. We speak in life. But I hope I grabbed the image I was trying to present there. But anyways, showing appreciation and gratitude to the things you have, you know, it's also you affirming to the universe you're so appreciated, you're so abundant, you know, you're allowing this abundance of appreciation to flow into you. Let's flow more of this into your life. You know, the game is here, the universe is here to bless you, to create the reality you want to live. But if you're constantly living in a low level energy mindset and you know, in general vibrating a low level energy, you're gonna attract lower level shit. So when you increase that energy, your vibrational field, you know, change the way you think into a better vibrational way, guess what's gonna happen? Abundance flows in, and that's the key factor in how it works. You know what I'm saying? It's how you feel. Feeling is everything. You dig? And the Patreon, I'll make a video with a book I should read. I'll work on that too. Really great. Change my perspective, my mind, and how I move about things and how I feel about things. Things you gotta be aware is how you feel. You know what I'm saying? And how you think. And those two combined will create a better path for you to envision your reality, better believe and envision in yourself by trusting yourself and trusting the universe, the Most High, God, however you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? J. Cole, I want to mention this because it's a song, an old one. I love it. Love Yours by J. Cole. You already know what I'm going to say, but J. Cole said it best. It's always going to be a whip that's better than the one you got. Always gonna be some clothes that's fresher than the ones you rock. Always gonna be a bitch that's better out there on tours. But you ain't never gonna be happy till you love yours. You feel me? And that is some game right there. That is some knowledge for your noggin. And it's true. You're never gonna feel satisfied until you are satisfied with yourself. If you're over here comparing yourself to a multimillionaire and you're making 60K a year, how you gonna feel? Why compare yourself to that man? And why compare yourself to anybody in general? You know, compare yourself to yourself, to your higher self. Actually, in fact, you know, see yourself like, damn, this is where my higher self is at, making six figures, doing this and that. I'm gonna be there too. I just gotta follow the path he did and construct paths for you to follow that revolves around that. And that's another key to advancing your positioning in life. And I'm dropping too much free game. Hey, but that's all I'm gonna say in this video about that. I hope y'all got the image on that. I'm definitely making a Patreon on this. If y'all want to subscribe to Patreon for that video when I do create it, is link is down below. We got that shit set up. And y'all have a blessed one. Stay elevated. I'll see y'all to the next one.